Hey guys, it's GamerZits, a TDS pro here, and today we are doing a TDS tier list because I haven't seen one of these in a long time, and the few of them are kind of outdated. So yeah, let's do it. Cause I know it's probably gonna be outdated again in a few weeks, but might as well. I have no other ideas. All right, so basically we have four things. Actually no, wait, hold up. Give me 1 second. Now we're gonna have to add a row below. Then, right, there we go. Now we have 6 things. So the first one is like level 200 meta. It's like the best of the best. I mean, if you're really high level, you need this in order to do like polluted wastelands and stuff like that. Next one's level 100 meta. It's good, but I mean, once you get really high level, you're probably not going to use it. Next, it's going to be decent. You're going to use it every once in a while, but it's not going to be like your go-to. Next one is change in scenery. Kind of self-explanatory, but like towers, you're not going to normally use, but if you use them every once in a while, it's fine. And then we have no. Okay, anyways, let's get into the first tower, which is pursuit. Oh, but actually, no, we have don't have, and if I don't have a tower, I put all of them here. Some of these I'm not even sure what they are, like this one. I have no idea what that is. But the rest, Ehaw, the Old Ranger, Outlaw, art. Technically, there's Archer here, but like this is Holiday Archer. I don't know why they put two. It's the same thing, but still. So, anyways, let's get to the first tower, Pursuit. It actually got a rework recently, so it's really good. But once you get really high level, it's probably not going to be what you're going to go for. But it can help you solo hardcore. I can solo to wave 35 using it. I can't get past that, sadly. But I think I have fair to be level 100 meta. I mean, you get it at level 100, but there's so many other towers here that you're probably just going to use more. Next, we have the Mortar. It also got a rework, but it's kind of just there. You don't need the Mortar, but it's really cool to have and different to use. I'm going to put it at decent because I use it every once in a while. It's not really a change in scenery. It's not that bad. I might use it a few times a week. You can use it to solo pizza party, which is pretty nice. So I think decent's a good spot for it. Next we have turret. It also got a rework recently. 3 level towers got reworks recently, so I guess that's good. They're making them worth the levels, and it's really good. It's a really good sub DPS, but again, it's not really around this like level 200 meta. I'm gonna go level 100 meta. I think it's worse than Pursuit, but better than Mortar. That's weird because Mortar's a level 75 tower and Turret's a level 50 tower. So, yeah, great. Okay, next we got Cowboy. Cowboy also got a rework recently. And I have a golden variant here, and I'll get to that in a minute. But, yeah, they kind of heavily nerfed the Cowboy. It was, really good. Since I have the golden variant, I don't really use this, so maybe change in scenery. But it's not going to be no, because it's still decent, but I don't really use it. So change in scenery. Now, depending on what level, this could change. Like, if you're don't have the Golden Cowboy, this could be decent or even level 100 meta. But since I have the Golden Cowboy, I'm gonna put change in scenery. But that could depend on what. Yeah. Next, we have the Accelerator. Accelerator is an interesting tower. Hardcore tower. It recently got buffed. Now it has a 500 DPS. It's absolutely insane, but its charge is really low. So the conclusion is that it is now the best tower in the game. So yeah, I'm gonna put it at level 200 meta. There's only a few towers on this list, surprisingly, that I could see myself putting above the Accelerator. But yeah. Okay, next we have Ranger. Ranger, it's the most expensive shop tower, and I mean, there's technically you can get Accelerator and Engineer from the shop, but I mean with coins. Like this is the most expensive thing with 8,500. I think it's level 100 meta. I'm gonna put it right there, and I'm gonna say that it's better than Pursuit because I mean they're really similar towers to be honest. You can place 10 of them. They don't have hidden detection. They do high damage. Ranger does high damage, and then Pursuit does decent DPS plus rockets, which kind of makes up for it. But I do think that Ranger is a bit better. So yeah. Next we have Gladiator. Gladiator is like the best speedrunning tower in the game at the moment. Gold Scout might get a nerf, possibly. I mean, it's really good and really cheap, so I love it, but it might get a nerf, to be honest. So I'm gonna put Gladiator at level 200 meta because it's a rare tower, and the only way to get it currently, not even currently, like the time to time, is through a game sale, which the devs do when they're poor, apparently. Okay, next we have Quick Boss. Again, I have the golden variant. I have all the golden towers, so a bunch of the golden towers are going to be changing scenery for me. But I think this is going to be better than Cowboy. For level 30. You get this thing at level 30. It's absolutely insane. You can get Cowboy at level 30, but I mean, it is really hard because your teammates are going to need accelerators and a better sub DPS. So unless you were to bot it, then I really don't see it being. I think Quick Boss is better than Cowboy. All right, next we have Archer. Archer is another tower that used to be changing scenery, but it just recently got buffed with this Game Pass, and now I think it's decent. However, I do think that the mortar is better, so I'm going to put it right there. Okay, now we have the Executioner. Executioner is a weird tower. It's had a history of bugs which have made it from one of the best and have made it to the best towers in the game. I just went over one of its bugs in my previous video. Make sure to go check that out. But but its targeting can help it, but I don't see many people using it, and I don't see it being used in very many events and stuff. Recently, I used it to solo pizza party, but I don't think it's popular enough and good enough to be used as that level 100 or 200 meta. So I'm gonna put it ahead of Mortar. I think if you could switch up its targeting and it could be really good. It's a cool Eclipse skin. I know that doesn't mean anything, but still, yeah. I think that's fair. Okay, next we have the military base. The military base is really good for hardcore when you first start out. You don't have any of these towers, but now, honestly, it's really not that useful. Like, I can get really far in hardcore using Farm, Ace Pilot, Pyro Ranger, Pyro Commander. What's the final tower I use? Trying to think. Why am I blanking out here? Yeah. I apparently suck at. Oh, Militant. Which we'll get to in a minute. And those aren't really in the Ace Pilot military base meta. Is not really anymore. So I'm gonna put military base above the normal Cowboy, but not ahead of Crook Boss, because it's really good for how cheap it is, and it can be a really good tower. And if they add PvP, I could see many people making early level strats with this thing, because it is really good. But I mean, it's not going to be like that, oh, we got to use this in my strat. Although it has had a history of bugs which have made it some of the best towers in the game. But yeah, like the Militant. Militant, I don't see it being I see it being a decent tower. I think it's better than the Crook Boss. You know, I'm gonna switch it up. I see the Militant being better than the Archer, but do I think Crook Boss is the normal Crook Boss is better than Militant? An actual 1x1 unit, I think the Crook Boss might have a slight edge because of its minions, but that 4 placement limit is just really low. So I'm going to give the Militant the edge, and I'm going to keep this list. Oh my god. But, do I want to do that? No, I don't. Okay, Rocketeer. It would have been a no tower before a few updates ago. Now it's not up here, not up here, but like around here. And I think it's a great change in scenery, and I'll see people using it every once in a while. But yeah, its explosive damage is really good for dealing with hordes, and is honestly good for like the advanced breakers. So yeah, Shotgunner is another tower that should get a rework. It hasn't yet, but it is really good for speedrunning. And I use that on my lower level account that I grind on. And because it's so cheap and it has an unlimited placement limit, I mean, I guess there's the 40 placement limit, but like you could place 40 shotgunners, and that's the max amount of towers you could place. Unless you're like John or someone that removes the placement limit, then you can place an unlimited amount of shotgunners, and that's good. So, shotgunner, a decent tower, just not really used that much. All right, minigunner. Minigunner is definitely a level 100 meta. I think turret is better, but even now I will use the minigunner. But you can use minigunner and ranger with support to solo fallen, I think. You just have to farm well enough to get the mini early enough. And then you can just upgrade the mini, if get a max and an extra one for the fallens, and then you can start working on rangers. Like I tried to do the same thing but removing DJ and getting paintballer, and I did it on Harbor, which isn't exactly the best map at the moment. So, but yeah, Golden Mini did well on that, and I would assume that with being able to get Mini earlier and not having to rely on a stupid paintballer for early game. Yeah, because I upgraded that boy way too much. It was not worth the money I paid it. But yeah, so it's a level 100 meta. Electroshocker, it's decent. I'm not going to use it in Molten Fallen normal mode, but if you don't have Sledger, this thing is probably like the next best thing. Because it could just stun towers. Like, rushers in polluted wastelands is a really hard wave to beat. And this can just absolutely destroy it. Like, it's not even funny. But it's only really good for that. And because of that, and it got a rework recently, so it actually does good damage now. So I'm gonna put it at the top of decent. Next we have Medic. Again, it's not good for Molten, Fallen, or normal mode, but when you come to when it comes to events and like special game modes and hardcore mode, you're gonna need her or him. I'm not assuming genders. You're gonna need him. So yeah, you're gonna need him, but you put it at the top of decent. You could also kind of early defend with it. You might be able to do accelerator with support only, no early game towers, and just use this as your early game tower if you farm well enough for it. But yeah, DJ definitely goes up here. There are tons of expensive towers when you get better at the game. You're gonna need a price and decrease. DJ is gonna be the man. Same with Commander. That fire rate is unbelievably good. Even after the nerf, it still does pretty decent. And like a supporting Ranger. Ranger and Commander are a really good combo. Accelerator and Commander. There's so many. Every tower just gets so much better if you have a Commander on it. So yeah, good job, Commander. You're definitely one of the best towers. Next we have Pyromancer. Yeah, Pyromancer is a weird tower. It recently got buffed, kind of. Now it's a little bit more expensive than the golden variant, but the first free levels, I think, are the exact same. So I think it's a change in scenery, but I think it's going to be at the bottom of the line, especially since I have the golden variant. So yeah, Ace Pilot is definitely a decent tower. I would prefer the Executioner, but it does really good in hardcore mode that it's not even funny. Actually, that Farm. Do I need to explain that? I mean, Farm. Yeah. Okay, next we have Hunter. Alright. So Hunter is a weird tower. Again, it got reworked, but it's not really something you're going to want to use. So a lot of these towers are changing scenery after the buffs because they're not really used anymore. And I might move some of these towers down, but I mean, if I were to rank towers, like this is the order you would see them. I would probably change some of the rankings in them, like what tier they are, but this is probably around the area you would see me ranking the towers. And I'm not going to place like Medic at the bottom because it's bad, but it does really good for special game modes. But yeah, I think a hunter is actually no, I changed my mind. It's gonna be below it, changing scenery. But I before the buff, I was able to solo Molten with it and using support, obviously. I think that's just gonna prove that it has the capability to do it. All right, now next we have the soldier. Yeah, it's gonna be better than hunter. I don't think it's better than pyro though. It could do very good and early game, the normal variant, and it's not really used. Actually, wait, hold up. I'm gonna switch it with that. I have the soldier, just switching it to the newer variant. Yeah. And next we have freezer. No, this tower may be the worst tower in the game. I think it is. I'm gonna stand that it is. It, they promised us a freezer rework, and yeah, we're still waiting for it. We got more info about it recently, which is a good sign. But till then, I think I stand that freezer is gonna stay at the bottom of my list. Next we have scout. It's a really good change in scenery. It's decent for early game. It's really cheap, but it's really only good for level 20 above. Because it's after that you're just gonna get a lot better towers than the scout. Sniper, I think it's above the hunter, above the soldier, above that, but not above that. But yeah, actually wait on a sec. Okay, yeah. I just switched. I have the two towers. I'm just upgrading it to more recent variants. All right, next we got Demoman. Demoman got a rework recently, and now it's for first few levels were heavily nerfed, but its later levels were heavily buffed. So it's a better mid game tower once you get it to higher levels, and you can get a few of them down. Like if you get like 6 of them down on a commander ability, it can just shred, like slow bosses, especially in a cluster. Yeah, it's pretty decent. And I think I'm gonna put it above the Rocketeer. Yeah. Actually, I don't like. It looks weird putting Rocketeer there, so I'm gonna definitely have some second thoughts before uploading this video. Next, we got Paintballer. I just used it and it did okay in early game, but I mean, it's still not a tower you want to rely on. There's no hidden detection. Yeah, it's the first tower I bought, and I regret it, and I know why people were mad at me in game. So yeah, please just don't use paintball or don't buy it until you have every other coin thing in the game, and it's the last thing you need to complete your collection. Next we have Golden Mini. Golden Mini is at the top of the level 100 meta. I don't want to put it at level 200 meta. It was really good before the golden perks, and then it got buffed with its actual DPS, but it's not that cheap anymore. It's still expensive to get, and I think that expensive is just what's gonna ruin it for me with the golden mini. But I think that it's fine. It's great. Yeah. All right. Next we got the golden crick boss. Golden crick boss is a really good tower. I think it might be level 200 meta. Yeah, I'm gonna put it at level 200 meta, which is very, very arguable, but it's just that good. And it's gonna, I'm gonna get a bunch of angry comments saying, "Hey, you put the golden mini over golden quick boss." I mean, look at the golden quick boss. Tell me this thing's not ridiculous. Gold Scout, I think, beats this. It might beat the Gladiator. It depends on how you use the Gladiator. If you're looking for a reliable tower, I'm gonna use Scout. If you're looking for just quick speed runs, but very not reliable stuff, use the Gladiator. But overall, the Scout is going to beat the Gladiator 6 ways to Friday. Wait, that's not how that goes, is that? Anyways, Cold Soldier, really good. It's not as good as some of the other DPS towers, but it actually proved itself to be a decent one. So, better than Turret, not better than Pursuit. I think that's fair enough. Next, we got Golden Cowboy. It pains me to put Cowboy at decent, but I hate the nerf. More damage means less shots, and they nerfed the money anyways. So I really think that like before it got nerfed, it would have been like around here. but I just don't use the cowboy. Don't use the cowboy much anymore, and I'm sorry. But if you get the golden cowboy, I'm sorry for you. I just don't like it. Okay, next the final golden tower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 here. The pyromancer. I think it's gonna beat all these golden towers. It's gonna beat this. It's gonna beat this. And I think I'm gonna have to put it there. Actually, no. I'll put it at the bottom of level 100 meta. But yeah, it's just really cool. But it's really fun. But it once it gets to like wave 26 pass, it's not gonna be do as much. The only thing it's really good for is defense melting. It's good for early waves in hardcore mode. But other than that, you're not gonna see much of this guy around. But next we have the engineer. The engineer is definitely a level 200 meta. Beats the golden quick boss. That. I think it's gonna not beat the. Yeah, it's gonna be there. Now, I should be doing my amazing editing now, and there should not be anything on the screen right now. But there should be something on the screen soon. It should be a warden. The warden's a weird tower. It has really low range, but it does really good damage. It stuns. It's a tower battles copy. Sadly, it's gonna go in level 100 meta, and it's probably gonna go. I'm gonna put it between Gold Soldier and Turret, but it's gonna end up around here. Just know that I put it in between Gold Soldier and Turret. Alright, last we have the Elf Camp. Elf Camp is a Tower Battles graveyard copy. I don't need to explain it very much, but it is still very good, and I think that it's going to be level 100 meta. It's going to be between the Golden Minigunner. No, it's gonna go between the Ranger and the Pursuit. So Warden and Elf Camp should both be here somewhere. But yeah, and that's my TDS. This is my TDS tier list. If you like this video, please subscribe. I'm starting to upload more often now. And yeah, bye.